Speaking of heat, a Valley apartment complex has been without working air conditioning for months, and that has left dozens of renters suffering through our record-breaking heat. Some of them actually had to be hospitalized because of this. So now it's gotten to the point where the state's top attorney is getting involved in this. This is happening at the Buenos on 32nd apartment complex. It's near Indian School and Grand Avenue. People living there tell us their apartments have gotten as high as 90 degrees during the day, and that does violate Phoenix City codes. Attorney General Chris Mays recently filed a lawsuit against the complex and its parent company, demanding they fix that problem immediately. So joining me now for the backstory is 12 News journalist Chase Golightly, who's been following this story now for weeks. And Chase, hard to imagine, going a day without air conditioning, but months. And I noticed they had some window units going there. So what's the fallout today? How are they doing today?
Well, Troy, it's certainly something you never want to feel living here in Arizona. As you mentioned, residents living here have been without proper working air conditioning for the past couple months. And you did bring up those window units. That is a temporary resolve for the situation here. According to city code for Phoenix, if the temperature for an AC system goes above 82 degrees, that's when the landlord steps in and they can provide those window units that are only able to cool down about one room. So even with those window units that are all around this complex, they're still having to deal with the heat. Now, some good news on this front is that we were back out here yesterday going to some of the apartments and testing those air conditioning systems. And fortunately for a handful of people, their AC units were around 73 or 74 degrees. But still, one person told us it took them 65 days to get to this point, and they're just hoping it stays that way. Now, as you mentioned, the Attorney General is getting involved, filing a lawsuit against the company here. And on court on Friday, the judge did order that the landlord would have to pay for any tenant whose AC system goes above that 82-degree mark. He says that the landlord on their own dime would have to pay for them to live somewhere else temporarily until they get the solution fixed. But while we did see some apartments were able to be in that 73, 74 zone, which is in line with city code, there's still a bunch of others that aren't in that situation that are still dealing with their AC systems not working properly.
Yeah, and these aren't air conditioners like you may have on your house, right? These are these large chillers that basically cool all the apartments at once. And it seems like it happens at least once a year. When one of these big chillers breaks, it takes a long time to get these parts. It's quite, I don't understand why it takes so long to get parts, why some warehouse here in Phoenix wouldn't warehouse those parts.
Right, you think that there would be something in here in the valley, because like we mentioned, this happens every single summer. And these people said, again, they've been dealing it for the entirety of really this summer. We did see that the apartment complex brought in a massive temporary chiller. And I believe during the court hearing, they said it costs tens of thousands of dollars to rent every single month. It was a temporary fix. It appears to be working from some units, but otherwise it's still going on. It's still widespread. And I believe in that court hearing, they said a total of 109 units are not having that functioning air conditioning, and they're still working to fix that problem.
All right, Chase Golightly, nice work on this, and I'm sure you'll stay on top of it as it works through the process here. Appreciate it.